Hey guys, this is Maria with J&M Garden. Welcome back. So I wanted to go ahead and use the last day of May to do the May garden tour. It's been raining like crazy, so I hadn't been able to do it before. But this area, I wanted to show you how great these astilbe look. And they're already getting some blooms. It looks like something is eating that right there. Let me see if I can get closer. I don't know if something's eating it or not, but yeah, that's what they look like in full bloom. They are so cute. I love astilbe. The trilliums, I don't know if those died or went dormant, one of the two. But yeah, those are gone. And then this evening primrose, like I put it at the front because when I planted them at the beginning, I thought it was going to be a different plant, and I thought that they were more of a front of the border plant. Turns out they're not. They are very, very big. I will show you the other ones that we have. These are actually not the biggest ones I have, but I'm not going to transplant them now. Maybe like at the end of the season I'll cut them back and transplant them then, but for now they're just going to stay in the front, and that will just have to do. And then this hydrangea that I planted, it is a baby from the other hydrangeas that we have, which are starting to bloom, but they're not quite there. And then I was going to pull this out because I was going to plant a rhododendron in this spot. And so now I'm not really sure where I'm going to plant the rhododendron. I don't know if I should plant it there or behind me, but I was going to pull this out when I realized that it didn't die and it does have new growth. So that one's going to stay there, and hopefully next year we'll have some blooms on it. But it's a snowball viburnum. Let's see. And then I've been working on this area. It's starting to take shape. All of the angel trumpet cuttings have new growth, so that's there. Something's definitely eating them. The gladiola came up, and then this is where I'm gonna plant these plants. I have them set up in their spots. And then look at all of the blueberries. Oh my god. I'm going to probably have to cover this soon so the birds don't eat them, but they're looking good. That's a blackberry in there. I will definitely be moving that and possibly the blueberries out of that container. And let's see. Let's keep going. Let me move that. That shouldn't be there. But I did plant some nasturtiums in there. They're not looking so great, and things that I keep thinking are dead end up not being dead. Look at that. This is an olive tree, so I think that they die back to the ground, but not quite dead. But yeah, this is an olive tree. I might have to put it in the ground so it doesn't die back so much. We'll see next year. But yeah, it's not dead, so that's really awesome, because this is kind of gonna be, this is what I want like to be my husband's paradise garden. And so it's like a little bit Moroccan inspired. And then this is our fig. It looks really, really good. I'm excited. I hope to get some figs this year, but maybe not, because I did have the deer eat a lot of that. And in this area we just have succulents. I am beginning to get a little bit of a collection of succulents. I bought a bunch that are still in my windowsill, and what I think that I'll end up doing is taking the agapanthus out, because it's not really growing that much. Like, I mean, it has new growth on it, but not as much as I would like. And taking that out and putting it into the ground, and probably putting some more succulents in here so it looks more full and lush. But yeah, all of these look great. Like, I think that if you look at these, like, these have already rooted, So I can probably like take some of those off and make them into their own little plant. And then, so let me show you these primroses. Oh my God, they've taken over this flower bed. And my gardenias aren't looking so hot, and I don't know what to do about them. I did cut one back, and I'm hoping that it looks still like it's green, but it has no new growth. So that one, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna put it into the ground, and if it comes back, it comes back, and that way I can at least use the pot for something. But all the alliums are done, but I haven't cut them back because I like the structure that they're giving this flower bed. By the looks of it, it looks like the white or green alliums are the taller ones, and then the purple ones are the shorter ones. I don't know, or maybe just this bed had more fertilized, like better dirt than that bed over there, because those were all shorter than the ones in this bed. But then again, these were all white alliums. And then that's a hollyhock. It's getting ready to bloom. And my sweet peas look lovely. But yeah, these gardenias are looking so rough. And then this is my patch of project plants that I bought to create other projects with. And look at the sweet peas. These are looking lovely as well. I have some volunteer tomatoes. I don't know if I'll leave those there, but they look better than the ones that I planted on purpose. So yeah, I don't know. And this Shasta daisy is huge. I don't want to keep it here, but I'm scared to take it out because it's so big. I'm scared to kill it. And let's see. This is my oregano, and these two beds are supposed to be my herb beds in the future, because, or at least this one, because I have oregano and I have rosemary, and that rosemary actually looks really big as well. It has tons of new growth. Let me show you real quick. Look at it. So I'm wanting these to be my herb beds. So maybe what I might have to do is just move the rosemary over to this bed and just keep it to one bed, but I'm not sure. And then I don't know if you guys got to see this, but I planted 2 hardy bananas, and that's one right there, and then the other one is over here. So eventually what I want to do is create kind of like obviously center that fire pit, but create kind of like a narrow pathway, I guess. I don't know. I want to just create a separation between this side of the yard and this side of the house. And let's see. So I've been working a lot on this. I haven't been able to mulch it, but look at the steel beet and how great they're gonna look. They're starting to bloom. These are the Little Vision in purple astilbe that I bought last year from Santa Rosa Garden, and they finally are blooming. And then in that those little things are purple oxalis, and there and back there I have 3 twilight heucherellas and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hellebores. They're, I think, all different varieties, which we decided to go with different varieties anyways, but it's looking good. All I need to do is mulch. I did decide to keep those pansies because this side is so, I mean, maybe like once it gets really hot, I won't be able to, but right now, I mean, this gets like full shade. So I think that's why those pansies still look good. And there's not a lot of them. So if I have to take them out, it'll be fine. I'll just put in some annuals. Let's go to this side. These butterfly trees are growing nicely. This one's starting to bloom, so that's nice. It's purple, my favorite color. And then over here, My daisies are blooming. The balloon flowers are getting ready. I think this one blooms in the fall because I remember I bought it in the fall and that's when it was blooming, but it's huge. Was it that one? Maybe not. I can't remember. One of these daisies I bought in the fall and it bloomed in the fall. So I can't quite remember which one it was, but yeah. And then I have some white yarrow that I transplanted from my mom's house last year, and look at how big it is, and it looks really nice. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm trying to build my collection of medicinal plants. But then this phlox is getting ready to bloom as well, and my purple coneflower looks really great. But the first thing that caught my eye was this coreopsis. Like, look at how vibrant it is. It catches your eye. I think that is a coreopsis also. I think that's a tick seed coreopsis. It's a different type, but like more of a peach tone, I think. And then look, these are like the natural onions that grow here, and I couldn't get rid of them. So it's like the saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them. I mean, I'm just kind of letting them grow, and whatever happens, happens. But I kind of like them now that they're up and they have these flower pod thingies. I kind of like them. I'm digging them. And then this is the ice plant. It looks really good. Out of the plants that I got from the UGA pollinator blend, that's one of them. And then over here I have two of them. And then they're kind of scattered throughout here. And then I planted some Zinnias over here, which aren't that big yet. But like one of the biggest problems that I've had is we have a lot of cats in our neighborhood, and they keep just coming and making little mounds and knocking my seedlings over. So it just is what it is. And then I had planted 3 Russian sages, one there, one there, one there, and only one of them came back. So it is what it is. What I might do is dig up that Russian sage and plant it on the side yard, and just plant something else that's tall in this section. And then I do have that right there, that little puff of green. That is a lilac, and I think that reseeded from my neighbor's lilac. So we'll see how that turns out. There's nothing much over there. Nothing's changed. I haven't really added anything. The wildflowers that were along this edge are pretty much done. The dianthus is done also. I did trim two of those boxwoods to give them a little bit more shape. I mean, eventually the focal point will be the boxwoods. The plants that I have in there now are just to add some color right now that the boxwoods are small. Alright, and the mailbox. Look, we have kittens in the neighborhood. So all of our kittens are with their new owners now. We only had 3 kittens, and they're now with their owners. But I think our neighbors had a litter of kittens, and they are so cute. But in this area, the clematis is done, but the rose campion has just been blooming its heart out, like non-stop. I don't know if this is a perennial. It's at least a biennial, and if it is a biennial, then what I might do is just go buy another rose campion for next year. Just put it in the ground and let it grow for next year. But I really like it, so I hope it's a perennial. And then some of these wildflowers are still blooming. It's supposed to be a biennial, but if you trim it back in time, it can act like a perennial. I'm just letting them finish up with their blooming, and if they come back, then they come back. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and sow some this year so that I can transplant for next year, just in case they don't come back. And this is Veronica Speedwell. It looks so awesome. I really like all this royal purple. I would call this a royal purple color. And then that iris looks good, but it hasn't bloomed yet. And I think that's going to be a white iris. I'm not 100% sure though. And this lily of the valley is starting to bloom. On this side, I pretty much have the same thing except on a smaller level. The only thing that looks better is the daylily. And the iris is, you know, this one already bloomed, so it's kind of done. But yeah, that's it on this side. Oh. I don't have as many plants on this side of the driveway. Let's see. This turtle head did end up coming back up. I'm excited about that. And then the lamium is starting to spread. Nothing much, just things that came back. That right there is a Magic Candy Love hellebore. I'm surprised he came back. He got squished by a basketball. And then that's a toad lily, some hostas, and some heucheras. Those are purple palace. They don't look very purple right now. I don't know. I think this area, because we cut down that tree and this tree, it used to be full dry shade, and now it's more of part sun. I wouldn't even call it part shade. I would say part sun now. So I don't know if eventually I'm gonna have to move some of these plants or not. But right now, I had to dig some of them up and move them for us to remove the trees. So everything is still small, but then there's even less plants than last year. So I need to come back in and put in some more of the plants that I took out. Especially on that side over there, I took some things out. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. I planted it last year. It hasn't bloomed yet. So we'll see. The ajuga is starting to cover this area, which I want because we have really bad erosion. So that is fine with me. This hosta, I think it's a blue angel hosta or something like that. It's starting to bloom. I'll try to Instagram some pictures when it's in full bloom. Yeah, if you aren't already following me on Instagram, try to follow me, because I do post some pictures sometimes of, or I'll try to get better at it, but I do post pictures of things that are in bloom, especially if I'm not able to capture them in a garden tour. Because, for example, I mean, there's so many things that are in their peak when I'm not doing the garden tour, like this Aquilegia. This was already in its peak. I cut it back and now it's like re-blooming, which is awesome. I don't know if I can cut it back a second time. I don't think I can. So I think that this time I will just let it finish blooming, let it form seed heads, and hopefully get some new Aquilegias for next year that are that purple. I really like that purple. And then over here, I have started to plant some things, and they've been struggling a lot with transplant shock. But this is a rose that I took a cutting from my mom's house and planted it over here, and it lived. And it's already blooming. I have its sister over there, which I need to transplant to that end over there so that it's symmetrical. The salvia is done. I did plant peonies out. That one's looking really, really, really rough. I don't know if it's gonna make it. I hope it does, because peonies are expensive. But the roses have been blooming. It sucks when they bloom and it rains and it destroys their blooms, but on an upside, that and that over there are cleomes that I grew from seed. And each flower bed has a cleome in it. So this one, it's there, and over there. I don't know what those things are, but I'm leaving them so I can figure out what they are because I've seen them all over my yard. Yeah, the blooms don't look very good right now. I need to come out here and deadhead. And something keeps eating my plants. Like, look at how bad that Cleome looks. I think that one's gonna die. But then that artichoke that I thought I planted turned out to be a squash. I don't even know how that happened when I have like bottles designated for specific plants. But that Gaura I propagated from the 2 Gaura over there. And this Cleome looks like it's gonna make it, but the other one died. It got eaten by snails. I've been seriously struggling really bad with snails. And then that Russian sage and that Russian sage over there, I propagated those from the 2 that died. And this rose bush is like really small, but it did bloom already. And then over here, I showed you guys the new growth. It didn't die, but it hasn't grown that much, so I don't know if we'll be able to get blooms from that. This, I didn't know what it was, but it's a lantana that didn't die all the way back, so I might go buy some more lantanas because those really like the heat of this area. And not pull them out when we get the frost, like just see and wait until it gets really hot to see if they made it or not. But this is one of the gardenias, and this one is a frost-free gardenia. So this one looks really good. I don't know why this one looks better than that one, but it smells delicious. I wish you guys could smell it. And then I planted some lilies, and they're starting to come up. So those will look really good. This one looks a lot ahead of the others. I planted some, can't remember what those are. Cosmos. Yeah, they don't look so great. But the Cleomes look good. And then these bee balms look so good, so vibrant. These spread really fast, so I might, I think this is like the perfect spot for them because they're a little bit contained. More plants that I have to plant out. And this is the other rose, little rose that I said that I propagated. And the astilbe, look at how good they look. But they're the wrong color. They were labeled as Maggie DeLay. I think Maggie DeLay astilbe that were supposed to be like like a soft pink that fades into a white, and they're totally the wrong color and totally the wrong area of the yard. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do because this is supposed to be like the predominantly white garden, and clearly it's not. But we do have a bloom, a gardenia bloom there, and there. So I think these gardenias heeded my warning that I said if they didn't bloom, they were gonna come out, and they're blooming. So that's good. I think actually this one might be the right color. Those look like a lighter color than these over here, but yeah, wrong color. Let's see. I'm kind of a messy gardener. I'm sorry for the mess. But that cyclamen has been blooming for like a month at least. And if I were to cut the foliage off of these hellebores, there would be fresh new blooms on the inside, but I really don't want to do that. I might do that like early in the spring, but I'm not going to do that now. This area just looks lush, and I let my parsley bolt because I honestly don't eat that much parsley, So I don't feel like there's a need for me to have like, I'd rather have cilantro than parsley, and I like the look of the umbellifer type blooms on the parsley. So maybe next year I'll plant, like late this year, I'll plant some more parsley on that side so that it can bolt next year and look like this. So I'm okay with that. I don't really care for the parsley for food sort of situation, but I do like this a lot, so I might plant some more. Well, we'll see. It overwinters good. I do need to cut it back though, because this one is getting out of control and falling on top of that peony and falling on top of that fern over there. But that's it for today, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye bye.